Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Dad. Welcome back to Empire Total War. Well, last time, we made it here, or to be precise, we made it back here, about a decade after we were kicked out of Ceylon by the Maratha Confederacy. We've come back, and this time, we intend to stay. Reinforcements piling in, undisputed control of the seas. It all looks good, except of course it's all a bit more, precarious than it might first appear. Because Europe is vulnerable. We've got two somewhat weak armies guarding the two major frontiers, Stockholm and Berlin. And right now, things are peaceful enough, but that's not necessarily going to last. Though, I'll admit, the current state in Europe is very much in my favour. In particular, the current situation in Russia, who are now at war with both Sweden and Poland-Lithuania. Europe is looking pretty bloody good. My only job in Europe is to keep it that way. Speaking of which, Prussia. Looks to me like they just took Prague and then pretty much just, abandoned it, actually. So, alright. Couple of troops should be able to, take care of that without too much trouble. Okay, it is embarrassing you lost 98 men in the auto-resolve. Dear flipping dear. Now, slight issue. Who do I give this to? Because obviously I don't want to own this. This would be, a terrible, terrible place to try and own. It's surrounded on so many sides. You see, my normal go-to would be Westphalia, but they're at war with Prussia, meaning if I give it to them, Prussia will just move straight back in and take it back. Ideally, I need someone who's not at war with Prussia. Unfortunately, Prussia are dicks, so that would appear to be, yes, pretty much everybody, actually. Venice! Right, you guys, congrats, you get a city today. It is a bit on fire, sorry about that. You do have to be careful doing this, though, because taking a territory by force does add to the expansion diplomatic penalty. Even if you give it away, that doesn't undo the -3. So, you can't do this too often. The AI does still get annoyed by it. Ah, yes, and don't forget over in America too, leaving behind Panama, which right now is, to be honest, pretty bloody worthless to me. So, don't even bother with the taxes. Instead, just push the Spanish while they are basically just, struggling to regroup. Alright, seen them off, no trouble, and yes, we want to keep pushing because now we're getting back into good stuff, in particular, mines. And beyond Guatemala, which will be even better, once it gets a port going on, we're into the really good stuff. Mexico. Mexico is very wealthy, well worth taking. Honestly, at that point, I could be tempted to just draw a line, because Texas is, look at it. It's pretty much bloody empty, it's worthless for the most part. I would be very tempted to just basically, draw up in Mexico and say, that's it, I will now pay for peace. Ah, yes, and that does remind me, by the way, let's talk all about the things that John didn't really get wrong, but just kind of, forgot about, which is Amsterdam, because our main military building is now up to Military Academy, Tier 4, meaning all of a sudden, we don't just have dragoons, we've got light dragoons. Now, at first glance, they don't look particularly exciting. Like, there's your basic dragoon, and there's your light dragoon. So you might be thinking, okay, so 10 additional accuracy, that's nice, I suppose. A few more bullets, great. Yeah, they kind of bury the important thing here, which is the background says dragoons will ride, then disengage, and engage on foot. Yeah, no they don't. Or rather they can, but you should never, ever, ever do that. Because unlike dragoons, light dragoons are skirmishers. And that means they can fire while on a horseback. I can finally train my own version of cavalry archers, but with guns, and they're even better than the ones we've seen so far. They are spectacular. Toss in some bonus howitzers too, and this is the beginning of the third wave of troops, though whether these troops actually get sent or not is of course a function of how well can I keep control of the situation in Europe itself. Alright, back to the main event though. I'm assuming Maratha is not going to want to fight, they're just going to retreat to Ceylon. We can fight them there. The thing to keep an eye on will be yes, whether we catch any sight of troops immediately appearing in this part of the world, because I simply do not know how many armies there might be around here. Obviously, there's going to be some good armies in this part of the world, which is part of why we wanted to take control of the sea. If they have to march back on land, it's going to take those guys literally years to make it back to the point where I'm invading. If they can hop in a boat, they could be here in 2 turns. But alright lads, let's see what you got together with everybody else too, of course. And just as I planned, Prussia of course now can't do a thing to Prague unless they're willing to declare war on Venice, which they almost certainly don't want to do, because Venice would absolutely destroy their fleet. It would just be lovely. So honestly, either way, I win. Here we go, Maratha. They've sent 1 troop down to, yes, displace my troops. So my ship's been forced out of the harbour. And they're also sending 1 ship over in this direction, who's going to, okay, loop round and engage my light galley. But honestly, while I wasn't intending for this to happen, this is kind of ideal, because that's basically just bait. I don't care if this 1 ship goes down. It can just retreat round the corner, no trouble. And they're not even going to get the galley. So, where are you going now, buddy? Okay, now you're going to go attack the ship that was, yes, previously besieging the harbour. Again, just going to retreat northwards. And you're going to be pretty much out of... Oh, hang on. Okay. Well. Well. Haven't we just... Uh-oh. Okay. So. Small issue. There are many more troops than I was expecting. And many more boats too, actually. Hang the flip on. Okay. So, the invasion might be not necessarily going as smoothly as I had originally hoped. Still, on the plus side, we've seen those troops now. They're not just going to randomly ambush me out of nowhere. Over in America, a couple of territories just went on strike, which is just a warning sign that things aren't as they should be. Taxes may be a tiny bit too high, so... Okay, that's a good 700-800 we're losing, but people were not happy. It's better to lose that than have to put entire territories into tax exemption status. And over in Europe, I literally just saw the Barbary states are dead. This now means Spain has a land border with the Ottomans. And they are not at war with the Ottomans, but they most certainly don't like them either. Instead, Spain's allied with Russia, who are and always have been at war with the Ottomans. So, okay, Spain might be planning to eat some of that territory, and that territory is valuable. They eat Cairo, go around the corner, take Jerusalem, Damascus. There's some really nice valuable territory in that bit of the world. Okay, stay focused on the big stuff here. They did not decide to rush us with this army. So we've got an opportunity to get ourselves dug in. But yes, there is a lot more here than I was expecting. Oh, but then again, this is dangerous. This is very dangerous, but if I could get this fleet round to here, destroy this fleet, and then retreat to this port, which will belong to me by the end of this turn, that means this fleet can't do anything about it, and just the same as before, this is nothing but sloops, brigs, all the rest of it. This is pretty much all they've got. Okay. Step 1, get the galleys out of here. I want the galleys round the corner, blockading ports as far as possible. But, okay, this fleet was supposed to go up here and start just, you know, trashing the ports. It can no longer do that. That is not the priority. We can kill an army right now. Like, 3/4 of an army ready to go. Okay, before we do that, do the sensible thing. Make sure that we've actually locked down Ceylon. Now we should be able to do so, because that is not a full stack army. They have got, okay, 3 cannons here. That's fixed artillery. That is also fixed artillery. Okay, it's all fixed. That's good news. We've definitely got the gun advantage, and they're still using yeah, other troops which are going to be mostly ineffective. Like, they're still using some Lancers, and we saw how well Lancers worked when France tried to use them. Not well. The key is going to be push in and get my guns in range, because the Maratha have one key technological weakness, which is they may have line infantry, but their line infantry cannot ever use fire by rank. Meaning, in a straight exchange of gunfire, I don't just win, I dominate. So, that's what we want to do. When it comes to their line infantry, just send mine in. It should win under all circumstances. Alright, this is what I wanted to see. Many of the battle maps over in this part of the world are pretty bloody flat, so cannons have just got a beautiful, beautiful shot. And for the first time, here we go, cannons with horses. So yes, indeed, should I need to reposition them, I can. Though, the setup time is a lot. So only do that if you're very sure nothing's going to go and immediately ambush them. Still, beyond that, we can do a pretty bloody traditional line. And I want my line to be really, really bloody wide, because I want their cavalry to have no chance of getting on top of me. Okay, open up the fight, and straight away my cannons can start doing something. Whether it's going to be much, I don't know. Where's that cavalry? Alright, there's some charging straight at me. I know they've got guns too. Yep, I can hear some of them firing, in fact. But, okay. Doesn't really matter. Are they going to try and advance? Because I am the attacker. They've got more cannons. It's entirely within their right to just say, I'm going to wait for you to come to me. And they're also moving. They're moving in this direction, which I do not like. But if they want to do that, that means I can start moving my line into a giant L to start getting round the side of them. Alright, so guys, start moving in this position. Alright, if we could start moving myself into a good, solid position to just get around their flanks, I will take it. Though, if they might be thinking about something like this, just reposition a little bit, please. Oh, we got some skirmishers coming in, and unfortunately they are about to be very, 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 very shot. Okay, so they've been shattered. They're not coming back no more. Excellent. So, okay, some of the cavalry coming in immediately. Love it. Just okay. If we've got a good chance to just take out their skirmishers right now. There's the lancers. Okay, guys, more like over here, if you'd be so kind. The battle line is getting weird, but now... Oh, guys, you've made a mistake. So, fire, and then fires some more, and then fires some more, and then fires some more, and then just straight into the next kill zone, if you would be so kind. Wavering, nice and dead, and apparently one of them was the... Yes, indeed, the Lancers were the leader. So, okay. There's some dead people, I love it, and there are some guns, because they're trying to reposition to this flank, meaning as a result of that, some of their guns, because they can't move, have been left unguarded. They're trying to deal with that by sending their own cavalry in, but looks like my lads have already managed to do a fair whack of damage. They're now trying to retreat, but broken and shattered. Are you guys gone for good? Shattered and shattered. Pull my cavalry back. Okay. Now, we're starting to see technological advantages immediately. They tried to reposition. Now, that's smart. It makes sense. They don't want to be engaging me straight up. They'd rather form a really big, big defensive line on a hill. But because their cannons can't move, that means all of a sudden, yes, indeed, they are stuck, leaving some of their guns behind. Meanwhile, yes, their cavalry has been mostly seen off. Okay, we've definitely got movement, though. They are 100% moving in right now. So in which case, guys, begin advancing forward. Why were there horses involved in that maneuver? There should not have been horses involved in that maneuver. You guys move into this position. Cannons, be ready. No, not cannons, cavalry. Sorry, wrong C word. Right, guys. I think they're running at this point. We're in a good shape. Get my cavalry around the outskirts. Now we've got total cavalry superiority. I think we're about to have the first exchange of the entire war of guns versus guns. So their infantry versus mine. So we're going to be opening up momentarily. And they fire. And that's all they've got. So they're now stuck reloading for a while. I'm not. I'm ready for a second go. Alright, and then we'll be just bringing in another go in a moment. Then another go once again, and look at that. They're already wavering and almost broken because, yep, there they go. Because we've been able to fire at them way more than they've been able to fire at us. And with that unit broken, we can start moving our units round into a position to begin flanking. Problem is, I can't keep an eye on everything all at the same time. But just walking into our troops, honestly, guys, canister shot is probably a decent bet at this point. How are you guys doing cavalry-wise? Yep, you guys are fine to start flanking at this point. These guys are fine for the minute, but we've still got some cannons right at the rear. This flank is starting to fall apart in no time at all. Alright, guys, start mopping up. You guys start moving in. It's time to start advancing with this frontier. Honestly, I think you guys are probably just going to start, shooting us in the back. So maybe you guys can just stop. But here we go. Straight exchange is working very nicely. My cavalry is... I can't remember telling you to actually engage, but you did. And look at this. This is just a straightforward exchange of fire. My troops are superior troops. But that's not how Maratha are going to win. Maratha are going to win by bleeding me dry. Because they just produce giant piles of relatively cheap troops. All these troops are cheaper than mine by a long way. They have got a huge number of cities to just spam cheap troops out. They don't need to win this first fight. All they need to do is start slowly bleeding me through attrition. Still, as a starting point, I will take this. This has been a very good first engagement. That is what we need to see. Problem is, we need to keep winning like that over and over and over again. They only need to get lucky once, and they can eliminate half my strength in this entire part of the world. But for today, we've taken a very important step. We've now taken Ceylon back. And if we can take control of the seas, which arguably is now going to be, yes, much harder than I thought it was going to be, then we can hold here. Alright, even if we run into trouble on the mainland, we can fall back here and we can retrain here. Because here, we've got ourselves a barracks, giving us access to a whole bunch of new regional units. And the ones in India are actually pretty bloody good. The VOC infantry are basically local colonial versions of line infantry, and VOC stands for... Okay, I'm not going to be able to pronounce that, but those words right there that are in Dutch. I'm sorry, I've never spoken any words of Dutch. I would butcher it if I tried. I'm not going to subject you to it. You're welcome. But yes, they're not terrible. They are a perfectly decent, solid line of infantry. We can also train our own dragoons here, and on top of that, yes indeed, some competent if unspectacular melee cavalry. None of these guys are going to change the world, but if we run into trouble and need to, you know, supplement our armies with some reinforcements, some replacements, they will do. Fix up the army too, and oh my goodness, yes, this is the problem. That was an overwhelming decisive victory, and even then, it's going to cost me $1,000 just to do some replenishment. Imagine how much that would cost me if, say, that had been a bit more of a costly victory. That could easily be twice or 3 times as much to replenish those troops, and then that's half my treasury for an entire turn. Still, I don't know whether this is going to work, but it's worth a go. This fleet right here can 100% take out those guys, but, to be honest... Okay, start taking out some ports, if you can. Continue round the corner and continue burning ports. Scout ahead, let me know what's going on. The more ports you're burning, the better. I mean, this one tiny light galley has just burnt... Never mind! Okay, so there's another navy round the corner. Sorry about that, you're about to die. Okay, we're going in. We have to try and take out these guys. We have to give it a go, because 100% I could win that fight. It's going to be scruffy. Hang about, you guys have got a couple of 6 rates, right? 3 of them, in fact. Oh my, oh yeah. We can very easily have that in that case. Just try not to lose any ships at the same time. Right, standard blob behaviour. Sorry, my mistake. There are, in fact, yes, 4 6 rates present, which is very good indeed. So, here we go. And they've decided to form one single line. No, not that guy. Like, somewhere beyond him. We have got the wind behind us, which is just absolutely beautiful. They, meanwhile, are stuck pretty much sailing into the wind. So, they are going to be not maneuverable at all. Right, we should be in a good position to just shuffle the fleet over in this direction just to get the initial fire off. Should be in just about the right range to make that happen. Then we can turn our hard into them in a moment. Come on, guys. Come on, let's have the first exchange versus this fleet right here. I don't know why you're not firing. You should really be firing. Why are you not firing? There you go. They finally got the memo. At the wrong ship, but I guess it'll do. And now we're just going to cut into them so we can start firing up the front, up the back, up the rear. And by the time we get into play, several of their front ships should be destroyed. So here we go. The left broadside is ready to go. This is going to be a nice accurate shot right into their rear, and they are not going to be enjoying this. And I'm so sorry, I'm kind of ramming you right now. My bad, but my ship is bigger, so basically screw you. And meanwhile, the right broadside should be ready to go momentarily. So now we can fire straight into the front of these guys. Boom, 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 boom. Flipping, love it. Well done. Right up the front of them. Not going to be enjoying that. Lovely. So, okay. These ships are going to start taking serious damage. One is already routing, but is not shattered or surrendered. So, pursue. You see, the problem I've got here is I don't have as much firepower as my kill fleet. 6 rates have good staying power, but can they really just annihilate brigs and sloops? No. To be honest, no they can't. Have some small ships on this side to catch any units that move out of position over here. Now, guys, do a little wiggle so you can start firing from all your different angles. There's some good stuff. Right, there's a route. How are you doing? Wavering, but not routing. Right, somebody just turn and give them a taste of something else. You're now routing. Right. Get on him. You keep going in this direction because, actually, I hadn't even considered this, but if I can capture this entire fleet with minimal actual losses, then it's possible, just possible, I might be able to get enough ships together to take out the big fleet all by myself. I didn't even consider that, but it's a very real possibility with the 6 rate leading the charge. Just be careful because there we go. One brig just took too much damage and now it's routing. Though fortunately not surrendered, we should be a-okay at this point. But yeah, this is why the blob is bad, because this sort of nonsense ends up happening. Get over here, prepared to board. There is a wavering ship over there. And yes, now my kill ships are just sort of floating around over there, not really doing anything productive. This here, this is the downside of Operation Blob. And there we go. Last boat gets hooked in. Job done. Time to figure out whether I've captured enough to actually, you know, make a follow-up engagement feasible. Really, only 3. I mean, to be honest, I'll take them. Okay, I'm saying this like I can get there, which I can't. And also, oh blimey, I can't get anywhere. Oh, it's just the captured ships. They've got no movement points, so okay, probably should have just left them be in that case. Should have sold them to the sea police. Okay. Okay. If I leave those guys behind, then as a result of that, I can get back to port. And I can save this fleet, assuming this fleet even needs saving. I'd say all ships fall back. Abandon the ones we just captured. Don't worry about them. They're the badly damaged ones anyway. Right. Admiral returns to port. You guys can also be, yeah, repaired up there. We can get one more brig moving in over there too. That's good. That's good. We've done what we wanted to do. All ships, prepare to be repaired. That's only 400. That is fine, to be honest. Then we just want to recruit... Yeah, get another brig out, because... Blimey. Okay, do I want to actually leave these guys floating? Because if I leave them floating, then this guy could recapture them. Okay, they're not going to be able to win. Sink them. I should have just sold them. Okay, where the cock is kill fleet? Because I need kill fleet, like, right now. Guys, get your asses to India immediately. If you could get there next turn, I'd hugely appreciate it. The income next turn is only 3,600. Okay, so this is the early stage of the war, where it's not actually that profitable, because we've not really secured any resources aside from a tiny handful of tea. Plus, bear in mind, yes, we've just stopped trading with the biggest empire in the world because we're murdering them, meaning my biggest trade partner is now Westphalia, and I love that so much. That reminds me, my treasurer is complete and total trash, so... Oh, and we've got a minister for India back again. Okay, pious. That's useless. Right, just bin him, replace him with somebody. Okay, now you, buddy. You're doing a good job. Honest, Jughead. So, yeah, -2 happiness with nobility, but good with the lower classes. Honestly, move him straight over to treasury. 4% bonus to trade route income and global tax income. That's going to help a lot. Yeah, that's like $1,000 right there. Hugely useful. Also, I just remembered I've got fighting ships nearby, because I have got... Oh, blimey. Okay. This is dangerous. Spain are nearby. Do I really want to transfer my galleons to the Indian theatre? I do have another 6 rate. I've got a brig right here. The galleons are going to have to take care of themselves. I'm sending the escort to... Right, well, I'm glad we stumbled across you. There's just a trade ship here. Right, my trade ship now, screw you. As I was saying, you, buddy, go and join up with my fleet. You do that now. And you, get yourself to India. We need more flippin' troops, and I do not know whether kill fleet's arriving tomorrow or not. I really bloody hope they are. Oh, Britain is on the move with a full stack army. But where is it going? Okay, that looks like America. They might be thinking about, yeah, expanding elsewhere into Canada. I'm not sure. Okay, Maratha, here we go. So, they've taken their land troops out of that navy. They've got an even bigger army that's getting on board instead, but I assume they'll be knocking out that ship, which is fine, not much I can do there. What's your plan, buddy? Step 1 will almost certainly be, yeah, knock out the light galley. Fine, don't care, no trouble there whatsoever. If you just want to keep that, yeah, ship floating on the water, I'm cool with that. Alright, that is, oh, that's just sad. I mean, try and retreat if you can. If you can get away, great, good for you. And you can't. I'm so sorry. There's 16 people with very few guns. Light galleys are a liability more than anything else. Like, you know, that's absolutely fine. And, okay. They have just done me a huge favour. The army is still on the boats. And that means it's not on dry land. And that means, oh my goodness, very convenient, a new bayonet drill. Basically just meaning I've now got, I think it's a good charge bonus with my bayonet. So my troops are even more effective in a melee now. Okay, we have got one small issue here, which is kill fleet has not arrived. Kill fleet is still, yes, 1 day away, but darn it, the reinforcements can't get there in time. Can we win this? I have got a navy of a comparable size to them. In fact, actually, some of your boats are badly damaged. We simply have to give it a go. Okay, so naval supremacy has been harder to achieve than I anticipated, I will admit. Do you guys even have an admiral? You do, but he's not very good. Mine is, to be honest, also not very good. In fact, he's... Oh, bloody hell. Why do you have -1 to morale? It would genuinely be better for me to demote him and then bring up a new admiral, because then I would actually have more morale. Bloody useless. Absolutely bloody useless. Right, promote a new admiral, put him on the good boats. There we go. 4 command, not 3, and he's going to make the navy cheaper. Interesting. I was hoping for, I don't know, some form of naval experience rather than an accountant. But sure, we'll just send an accountant in to command the battle. Okay, we're going in. We're flipping going in. Some of them will just collapse. If we assassinate the admiral, I think we've got it. Let's flip and go. Okay, because this fight is going to be bigger and more dangerous than any we've engaged in so far, I'm going to slightly rationalize the line. We have got a blob of lovely, lovely 6-rate ships up front. Admiral, nice and nestled in the center. Behind that blob, though, we have got 2 lines of brigs and sloops. That way, we use the front as shock troops and the rear to mop up. That should be the best option we've got, I would say. And looks like we're looking at... Hang on, is that 1 line or 2? No, this is perfect. This is actually a single line. I thought it might be 2, but instead it is a single long line. That means, yes, my 6-rates can do a huge, huge amount of damage while the ships at the back are just doing nothing. Alright, lads. You know what to do. Turn a hard, and give them bloody hell. It's time to open fire with the initial broadside. Then we turn round and do the same thing. So in comes shot number 1 from them, hitting one of my brigs, actually. Okay, everyone's now going incredibly slowly into the wind. Alright, you know what? Everyone turn the other way. Everyone turn around. We'll just go with the wind behind us. That'll be much better. So just turn and open fire and open fire and open fire, and they are not going to enjoy that one little bit. Good, 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 good. More. He's already in a lot of trouble. Wavering, good. Guys, turn him. Turn into them right now. Begin isolating them. If we can finish off that guy, brilliant. I want some of these guys finished off before they can do anything. Laying down a bit of fire on my brigs over here. This guy's going to be in trouble. He's in a dangerous, dangerous position. You've already... Okay, you've surrendered, but I feel like you're actually also sinking. So, okay, we can probably stop firing on that guy. He's dead at this point. Don't know where their admiral is. Not here for the time being. So, okay. Score 1 to me. Flippin' love it. Just everyone do a wiggle. Get some shots in on anyone you have got a shot on. Your broadsides are probably ready to go. Excellent. Good shots right there. Tons of free damage, or basically no cost. And then everybody turn this way and give them the other broadsides. Now with the wind behind us. There is a sloop who is being badly damaged by various ships and routing. Probably will be coming back. For the time being, I would rather, yeah, just focus on dealing a huge amount of damage to the guys at the front. Now, they are starting to get some shots in here. They definitely are, and my troops are now getting scattered. Scattered all over the shop. But, bare minimum, you are routing, not surrendered, but keep firing. Give it a go. Routing, and more fire right there too. Good. Good, good, good. Guys, do we want to consider turning round and giving them another go? I think we should. Now, give them a wiggle. I'm not seeing any ships in a huge amount of trouble. Now, one of their brigs has broken through. You've surrendered, but the problem is they've still got a lot more at the back. And now they've got a sensible line, and I don't. I've got ships who are just now stuck in dumb positions, being fired upon from every angle, and the trade ships are unfortunately eating some of the damage, which is a bit of a shame. So okay, my ships are now attempting to just penetrate through the line over to here. Keep on keeping on, lads, keep on keeping on. As soon as I'm pretty confident everybody's done some damage. Okay, we've taken out maybe 3 ships, maybe 4 to date. This is good. This is actually looking pretty positive, because some of their weaker ships are at the rear. This guy needs to just get out of dodge. I think it's too late. Yeah. So, okay, that guy might well be sunk. Guys, turn her around, turn her around, turn her around. Give him the other broadside, please. In comes more fire, and somebody just exploded. Does anyone know whether that was one of ours or one of theirs? It looks pretty big. I feel like it might have been one of mine, actually. So, okay, this is the danger right here. You lose track of what's happening. Okay, my Admiral's not dead, which is good. Plenty of their fleet is now in trouble. My forces, however, are not making any sense. Like, any sense at all. We're starting to fire into some of their ships, which is good. They are routing, you're routing. Where are the 6 rates? That's the key right there. So, there's one. There's one. There's one. There's one. You see, they're no longer at the front. This is the problem with blob strategies. If the fight goes into extra time and you don't just win with the initial exchange, then all of a sudden, several of your secondary ships are just going to end up where they shouldn't be, and then trouble. Guys, hard turn, a hard turn. Give them a different broadside right there. So sloops are now firing. At this point, I have got, yeah, ships in a bad position. But I will say, 2 6 rates here, they can do it. They are fine. The problem we've got, however, is we don't just have to win this one. There can be no survivors. If a single ship gets away, then that means that ship carries the army away with it to safety. Every single ship must be sunk, disabled, surrendered, captured, whatever. Nothing gets away alive today. For this reason, I'm moving my ships into a new position here. Get on them every single side. Not a bad idea in general, but as we say, nobody bloody escapes. At this point, we're just going to finish off the last handful of survivors. Alright, down to the last few. I think we've got one or more ship here, already wavering and pretty much surrounded, so okay. Make sure we don't throw this away at the last minute. Everybody over to chain shot. Take out the sails. I do not want this guy. No. There is too much risk that this guy might be able to find a way to escape. Get after him. Do not let him get away. He's gone. That's it. Okay. We got him. That's the thing. Brigs and sloops? Fine. Versus other brigs and sloops. But 6 rates? Oh, blimey. Well. Well, what do we have here, lads? Bring in the trade ships and a handful of brigs just for safety. Everybody else we could do with the money. Hand them straight over to the sea police. Lovely. And with that, your army goes too. Which, anybody else, that'd be a huge victory. Maratha, mild inconvenient. They've got another full stack just standing over here, doing nothing, for fun. And all that money I just made, yeah, need to repair the fleet that just got damaged. So, basically, yeah, that didn't really achieve much at all. So, just as a reminder, this was supposed to be a, huge, effective invasion, which was carefully planned so we would seize complete control of the sea and every port on day 1. It's now been 2 full turns, and my fleet is now cowering in port, undergoing emergency repairs. And we have taken precisely 1 island and not taken a single footstep onto the mainland. No agents, no scouts, no anything. We have no idea what's going on. And in terms of, yes, locking down the ports, we've locked down 1. The port of Calcutta has been locked down. That is literally it. And they've still got more fleet coming up. They've still got more armies coming up. And every turn they manage to stall. Their veterans from the front line who just took out Persia, they're coming. And if I can't seize control of the seas, they're coming sooner, not later. Still, next turn, we should be able to start turning things around. Kill fleet should be arriving. As soon as that happens, they swing up the coast and they can destroy anything. We don't need to worry anymore about, yes, having to bring in reinforcements, any of the rest of it. They can just come in and deal with it. No problem. And they're bringing in an extra army too. These forces will momentarily be replenished, and we've now got additional boats to ferry them over. Potentially, if we can just clear the port as well, we might be able to actually move in and take our first bit of mainland territory tomorrow, which would be rather exciting, actually. And though they're technically not actually a problem, I mean, we may as well take over these bastards too. They are sitting on, you know, tea and gold and all the rest of it. Why not, to be honest? Why not, I say? They're kind of in our way, if absolutely nothing else. Still, I would say that rather tricky opening couple of turns is more than enough for now. We have got our foothold, but they're not making it easy for us. And as I say, this is just their fleet. Bloody hell. I'm terrified, because they can bleed me dry. I have got to make enough progress in this campaign that it's worth continuing. Because right now, I'm giving up a lot of money and I'm not seeing much benefit from it. And you just know, you just cocking know, any moment Sweden's gonna do something stupid, because that's pretty much their job in this world, to annoy me. So, join me next time to see what it is Sweden's going to do next. Probably attack me, then immediately get paid off. We shall flipping see. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been Empire Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
This guy's enjoying that. This guy's enjoying his elephant a bit too much.
Oh my god.
In Fair Verona, we set our scene. Oh my god, Becky, look at her butt. It is so big.
They've managed to glitch inside one of the buildings. Elephants in the rear! And then here come the chariots!